New this morning on Erie News Now, another state kicking former President Donald Trump off its 2024 election ballot, all for his role in the January 6, 2021 assault on the U.S. Capitol. So we got the latest on what the Trump legal team is saying about it all this morning. Plus, it's a major change of direction for one of the area's top law enforcement officials as Warren County DA Rob Green announces his future plans to head in a decidedly green, as in leafy green direction. Yeah, we've got those developing details. And we're counting down to 2024, and we've got some celebrating to do right here at home, from staying safe through the holiday parties and some mocktail recipes the guests are sure to love, to a look at all your Sunday night live music options. We've got everything you need to know to ring in the new year in style. All coming up for you on this Friday, December 29th edition of Erie News Now Sunrise.
With coverage you can count on, welcome to Erie News Now Sunrise.
Good morning, everybody, and let me be the first to deliver the last happy Friday of the year. Yeah, we're kicking off this final Friday of this year with a look at our Skyview shot of downtown Erie. We're going to see lots of New Year's Eve parties come Sunday night, and yeah, we'll talk all about that as we move through this Friday morning edition of the broadcast. I want to welcome in AJ Mastrangelo, of course, as we deal with a little bit of I guess it's not too cold out there so far this month. We've been, above average as far as the temperatures go, and it seems like we're kind of hanging in that area this morning.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, our average low temperature still into the lower 20s, and we're not getting there anytime soon, but a bit cooler out there this morning.
A little closer to normal, yeah.
40 degrees. I mean, that's our average high temperature for this time of year. It's December. Winter's got to start acting like, and I do think we'll see a few snow flurries as we continue into the later hours of tonight, but you're looking good here for our Friday. Temperatures more seasonable, expecting some peaks of sunshine and expecting relatively dry conditions out there as well. So let's take a live look outside right now with our Oliver's rooftop cam. As you can see, we're dealing with some nice quiet conditions, 40 degrees our temperature, and that's pretty much the best that weather impact index has looked in quite some time, with the green bars continuing through the morning hours and into the afternoon. We're at 40 right now. We've dipped into the upper 30s, but really just expecting some steadier temperatures out there today. A couple of showers, rain and snow up there into Chautauqua County, but those are coming to an end as well. Temperature 40 into Erie, 37 into Meadville, 39 Mayville, 44 up there into Dunkirk, 40 Warren, 40 out there into Bradford. The winds only about 5 miles per hour, so they haven't really picked up too much from yesterday, but not quite as calm, and we're not seeing those dew points and temperatures quite as close, so we're not seeing any fog out there. Partly cloudy skies taking us through our daytime, mostly cloudy. Could see a rain, snow showers ahead for 8 p.m. I'll have a full forecast update coming up after the break, and another shorter update coming up after your top stories.
And let's get right to those top stories on your Friday. Maine, now the second state to remove former President Donald Trump from its 2024 primary ballot, citing the 14th Amendment clause against insurrectionists holding office. It comes almost a week shy of the third anniversary of that January 6th insurrection. The Trump campaign is vowing to challenge this decision up in Maine. And of course, last week, Colorado's Supreme Court also removed Trump from that state's primary ballot, also citing Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Both states have put their decisions, though, on hold temporarily pending an appeal. And new overnight, another state making a call on Trump. California's Secretary of State declining demands to remove the former president from that state's primary ballot. Well, Erie News Now is following a developing story out of Warren County this morning. District Attorney Rob Green has announced a major change in career direction. He says he's going from being Warren County's top law enforcement official to focusing on marijuana advocacy. In a statement released on Thursday, Green says he will not run for a fourth term as Warren County DA and plans to change his focus to advocacy on the issue of marijuana. Voters first elected the Republican Green back in 2013. He has 2 years left on his current term. Now, in that statement, he called himself a freedom-loving Second Amendment Republican who confessed to using cannabis most of his life and says he recently obtained a Pennsylvania medical marijuana card. Green says he plans to serve out the rest of his current term as Warren County DA. You can get a look at Green's full 3-page statement by heading to erienewsnow.com. Well, the man accused of murdering his girlfriend inside their East Erie apartment is due in court today. He's now 45-year-old Gordon Kirkland, charged with first-degree murder in the death of 48-year-old Autumn Basham. Police found her body in the yard of a home along East 28th Street back in September. She'd been stabbed to death, and police said Kirkland had cuts to his hand when they found him. In court today, it's a scheduled preliminary hearing. That's where a judge will decide if the evidence is enough to send this murder case onto a full trial. It's 5:04 on your Friday. Erie News Now has done a number of stories this year on the shortage of nurses here at home and really all across the country. Healthcare providers are still trying to recover from some of those pandemic-related worker shortages. But there's one organization looking to lead the way when it comes to filling those open nursing positions. The Labor Department reporting that from April of 2021 to the following April, more than 70 million Americans left their job. And in 2021 alone, the number of nurses working dropped by nearly 100,000. So as a result, UPMC has created the Jameson School of Nursing on Erie's east side. And they say that east side's location is critical to attracting the right people.
By putting the school in that neighborhood, it made people think that's my school. It's in my neighborhood. This is a profession that I can aspire to. And as a result, we have seen a significant portion of our enrollment come from that area.
UPMC's Jameson School of Nursing has already seen more than 100 students graduate. They say their goal is to have close to 200 students annually moving forward. Well, the countdown to New Year's Eve is on, and while it may be a night to celebrate for a lot of folks, it can also be a very busy night for local police. Erie News Now's Elspeth Meisner is live in studio this morning with a look at how police here at home are preparing for that busy night and perhaps a busy entire weekend. Good morning, Elspeth.
Good morning, Mark. Not only do police have to worry about New Year's Eve in itself, but they also have to worry about tonight and tomorrow, as many people might be starting those celebrations a little bit earlier. Well, many people might be going out to ring in 2024 this weekend. If they aren't safe and smart, they could be in for some harsh consequences, including a DUI. Deputy Chief Rick Laura with the Erie Police Department say it's best to have a designated driver if you do plan on going out on New Year's Eve or taking advantage of those rideshare apps like Uber or Lyft. He also says the police department tends to see an uptick in activity when New Year's Eve falls on a weekend.
When New Year's Eve falls on a weekend, I think that you would experience probably some more crowds. Obviously, Monday mornings, there's a lot of people that are going to be going into work with a headache. But, we want everyone to come downtown. We want everyone to have a good time. We just want to make sure that they're safe about that.
And coming up on Erie News Now Sunrise, we'll talk more about how the police department prepares for a big night like New Year's Eve. We're also going to get their take on a new law that could be coming to Pennsylvania within the new year. Elspeth Meisner, Erie News Now.
Thank you, Elspeth. 5:07. We're right in the middle of the annual Kwanzaa celebration this morning. We're coming off a Thursday celebration at Erie's Quality of Life Learning Center. Each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa highlights their set of principles. During Thursday's Kwanzaa event, community members shared their talents, spoke about the holiday's meaning, and came together over some food. Board member Denise Horton tells Erie News Now the African-American holiday aims to remember history and inspire.
It started in this country in 1966 by Dr. Maulana Karenga. It gives one hope. It talks about our struggles, our victory, what we learned from our ancestors, and traditions that we like to keep, and traditions that are good to carry forward.
Kwanzaa celebration continues right through January 1st. Of course, the clock's ticking down to 2024. The people who make it their business to make sure there's plenty to drink, they are hard at work these days. Non-alcoholic drink makers looking forward to the boost they might see from those participating in Dry January next month, when a lot of folks look to avoid drinking. But alcoholic beverage makers are perhaps dreading this weekend, saying the upcoming weekend is likely their last hurrah in terms of sales.
These couple weeks leading up to the new year are really important for breweries like us and pubs around the town, because January and February tend to be really slow months in Erie. You have the weather, you have the Christmas credit card debt coming in, you got Dry January, you got, New Year's resolutions to lose a lot of weight. So the pubs, the breweries, the manufacturing tends to slow down in January and February. So these couple of weeks where everybody's out enjoying themselves, families are back in town, are really important to businesses like us.
And if you're looking for a New Year's Eve party, we have a long list of all the big New Year's Eve parties, public celebrations. You can look at that anytime by heading to erienewsnow.com. And now we'll find out what the weather's going to be looking like come New Year's Eve. But we got more of a short-term focus right now, AJ, as we head out the door on our Friday.
Yeah, certainly drier than what we saw yesterday. Not dealing with quite as many hazards between the rain and the fog. Well, both of those have come to an end as we head into tonight, as well as for our New Year's Eve itself. Expecting a taste of winter. Not going to be full-on winter. We're not talking 20s and teens, but a couple of snow flurries, as well as some temperatures back down into the 30s. We're in the 30s right now at South Main and Linden Street this morning. Looking dry with our Bob Ferrando World Cam. As you can see, more in the way of those green bars continuing through the morning into the afternoon. So we'll be staying dry here for our day daytime. More seasonable too. Temperatures pretty steady into the upper 30s, low 40s. We'll be staying dry until we get towards the later hours of tonight. Light winds expected to only about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Hour by hour temperatures, you can see, looks like a lot of fluctuation, but it's really not. Between 40, 39, 41 throughout much of our daytime. So those steady temperatures right near our normal high temperature of 37 degrees. Precip chances low through our daytime, but even Erie, Meadville, as well as Warren, we'll be seeing that elevated status into the scattered and numerous category. And that'll be as we head into the overnight, when we do expect to see those flakes flying, as well as a few raindrops for the immediate lakeshore. I'll time that out with Futurecast and all of your full 7-day, both those coming up right after the break.
All right, thank you, AJ. It's 5:10 on your Friday morning. Let's head live into New York City this morning. A look at the Big Apple getting ready to say so long to 2023. After the break, we're going to head over to the Erie News Now kitchen to check out some of the drinks that will help you ring in the new year at home. Again, that's all coming up next.
Now, first warning weather with AJ Mastrangelo.
First look at our Friday morning wake-up weather headlines for you. We'll talk about the near term for now. Taste of winter, rain, snow, showers push into the region later on tonight. More wintry weather expected for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, but it does look to be lighter precip at that. Maybe some pockets of some moderate snow, but temperatures in the 30s going to have a tough time accumulating. Highs more seasonal, 30s and 40s these next several days. No major temperature fluctuation, so won't be getting into the 50s and won't be getting into the 20s really anytime soon. If you take a look at next year, which is also next week, a few flakes to kick off 2024. Cool and quiet as we head into the middle of next week. Numbers from yesterday, 51 degrees, our high temperature, 43, our low. Both those, of course, above our averages. 0.12 was our rainfall falling there at the airport. Happening right now, luckily, no rain out the door this morning, so don't need the umbrella. We'll be feeling good with temperatures a little more seasonal. We're at 40. We've dipped down into the 30s. Humidity 86%. Calm winds being reported right now. Our pressure has been quite steady even from this time yesterday. You can see our spinning low pressure system, a decaying low pressure system off to the west. Eventually, this kind of northerly wind will overtake, and that's what's going to yield more in the way of those rain, snow showers later tonight. But Doppler Max, more of a local scale, just dealing with some cloud cover out there. We do think it'll dissipate a bit through the morning hours. A few peaks of sunshine. Then as we head for 7, 8 p.m., the clouds fill back in, but the precip really doesn't arrive until the overnight. So you're likely dry through the evening hours. Rain, snow as we continue into our Saturday morning. Likely just some flurries to start off our Saturday morning, but we do have more active weather as we continue into Sunday, New Year's Eve itself. We start the day dry with the clouds, but as we head through the afternoon, take a look at the snow pushing in the region. Could be moderate at times, but those temperatures in the 30s will have a tough time making it accumulate as we head for our New Year's Day itself. You can see right when the ball drops, could be talking about a few snow flurries across the region. Right to our 7-day forecast, 44 today, 38 tomorrow, more seasonal heading into the weekend. A few flurries Saturday morning, rain, snow later on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, a few of those flakes still flying, but looking like we'll be quiet Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. Temperatures hanging right near that 40-degree mark.
All right, thank you, AJ. It's 5:14 on this Foodie Friday morning, and we call it Foodie Friday, but I think this morning we might want to call it it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
There we go.
Annie Lewis from Red Letter Hospitality, not Annie Lewis anymore. You said Annie DePillo.
DePillo, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank
Got married just a
you
little bit.
very
We've known her for
much.
years as Annie Lewis, but yeah, we're going to talk Megan about some alcoholic drink recipes and some non-alcoholic
Well,
ones.
this upcoming holiday is more focused on drinks rather than the food, so we have Annie in here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about our alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. A lot of people might be feeling like taking a
Absolutely.
break after the holidays. So can you tell us a little bit about what you have in front of you?
Absolutely. So let's start with the boozy drink. So for both the Skunk and Goat Tavern and the Cork 1794, we are completely booked for New Year's Eve, which is great news.
Sure.
However, we have room for brunch. So I figured I'd come with the Bloody Mary. So we have our house-made Bloody Mary mix, and then we house smoke these Smoky Joes. So these are like smoked jerky.
Oh my gosh,
So
okay,
those are
all right.
shown at, this is from the Skunk and Goat Tavern. And then we also make our house-made Bloody Mary mix at the Cork as well. And then I brought a mocktail from the Cork, and it's called the New Fashioned. So this is a huge trend that we have definitely seen, and people are coming to the Cork, especially for mocktails. So a New Fashion, it is a non-alcoholic bourbon.
How often would you say that people come in asking for a mocktail or a non-alcoholic drink?
Daily.
Really?
Daily. So we actually have a specific spirit-free menu that we offer at the Cork.
Well, and
which
then
is
you have
awesome.
upcoming January is almost the most popular time for
Dry
people that are
January.
trying to get those. Right.
Absolutely.
Take that break. What do you guys have upcoming in January?
So
for
actually,
that?
we have a mocktail pairing dinners that we're going to be offering. So we have on January 18th at the Cork. So it's going to be a course dinner with all spirit-free drinks, so no alcohol. And then on January 25th at the Skunk and Goat, we're doing the same thing. So just a nice little option that you don't have to have alcohol, but also doesn't hurt to sometimes have a drink.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix. And I feel like when you're creating a mocktail, you're trying to create, the good part of that,
Absolutely.
the taste of that drink.
Absolutely.
But not so much maybe the alcohol. The
And you don't
negative
always
part
have
of
to have it.
Right.
So have you had people, here's my question then. Have you had people that came in that have had, because you said it's supposed to be like an old fashioned,
Yes.
that have had the old fashioned with the alcohol in it and give their opinions on this
So it
mocktail?
does taste like, but you don't have that distinct bourbon taste. So it's very smooth, but also for those people who just choose not to drink, this is a great option.
Okay.
But also for those who would like to, enjoy a cocktail, we have that as well.
All right, so how do they get into that? You mentioned
Okay,
still
so
some
go
openings
on
for
our
brunch, right?
websites.
Yeah.
We can go on our websites, both the skunkgoatavern.com and the Cork 1794 for reservations. And we do have a few early dinner reservations. Just that prime time dinner, New Year's Eve is pretty
And
booked.
we'll have Annie here all morning long with us to talk about all the things that they'll be offering, because
Yes.
there are some more traditional New Year's Eve options that we'll be talking up coming up later in the
Absolutely.
show.
Yeah, we'll be hanging out in the kitchen all morning long. We're coming back with more Erie News Now Sunrise in just a couple of minutes. So stay with us.
This morning on the third hour of Today, the phys ed teacher who's spreading positivity far beyond his school. Plus, behind the brand Birdies, combining fashion and comfort. And in our series, The Upside, the social club that's embracing nostalgia by bringing new life to an ancient game. All that and more coming up this morning on the third hour of Today.
$5.18 on your Friday morning. More than half of U.S. companies reportedly plan to increase their hiring in the first half of next year. Jane King has that in your morning business report.
The job market will remain resilient heading into 2024. That's according to the talent solutions and business consulting firm Robert Half.
I've been in this business for almost 3 decades, and I'm very optimistic about the hiring outlook for 2024.
According to the company's State of U.S. Hiring Survey, 57% of respondents plan to add new permanent positions in the first 6 months of the year, while another 39% anticipate hiring for vacated positions. More than 2/3 expect to hire contract workers as part of their staffing strategy, and among managers who plan to increase hiring, more than 2/3 cited company growth as the main reason. season. Well, for many U.S. businesses, work from home is here to stay. Bospar Public Relations has been having employees work remotely since its inception before the pandemic.
We have people in different parts of the country that work with different parts of the world. And so the thing is like we're always on, and there's no time wasted with commuting and stuff, and it's really good for young families, especially for young mothers.
Bospar believes one day virtual reality will play a big role in work, allowing for remote meetings with people's avatars. Some sophisticated VR headsets are capable of replicating even the most subtle facial expressions, which could drive engagement and communication among teams, providing a feeling of being in the office and benefiting those who miss in-person office work the most. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King.
5:20 on your Friday morning, and it's time for a special edition of our live music chat as we head into New Year's Eve weekend. Jack Stevenson with the two-man happy hour crew breaking down those live music options for New Year's Eve come Sunday night. Check it out.
Hey everybody, it's Jack Stevenson from Two Man Happy Hour. Interested in some great local live music right here in Erie, PA for New Year's Eve? Well, here's a few ideas for you. If you love great classic rock and roll, well, you could check out Twisted Lid. They're going to be ringing in the new year at the Raskeller, and that starts at 7 p.m. Looking for a little country music to go with the new year? Well, you may want to catch Bucked Up. They're going to be jamming with all the best country and rock tunes at Doc Holidays, and that starts at 8 p.m. Finally, if you're heading out a little bit later, you may want to hit Churchill's Bourbon and Brews at Presque Isle Downs. They've got the Geek Army at 10 p.m. with all your favorite party and dance classics. So, hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Erie News Now, Erie's rockin' news station. And as usual, for the full list of the area's live music events, hit the Two Man Happy Hour website at the number 2manhappyhour.com. I'm Jack Stevenson, and we hope you have a fantastic 2024. Peace out, everybody.
Look to ring in the new year come Sunday night into Monday morning.
Yeah, Mark, we'll be seeing a little taste of winter here as we continue through our weekend. A few shots of some snow showers out there, and one of them actually coming for New Year's Eve as we head into New Year's Day. So let's take a look at what we got for New Year's Eve. The evening hours, 6, 9, midnight. Yes, we are expecting to see those temperatures in the 30s, and we are expecting some snow showers to be pushing through the region. Could be putting down some coatings across some select locations. We'll have more details as we continue through our daytime here and into tomorrow. But for New Year's Day, still tracking those flurries for the morning hours. Temperatures once again into the 30s, so the snow will be having a difficult time accumulating, especially with how warm it's been. That ground temperature well above freezing, but nonetheless, a few slick spots to start off our 2024. NFL outlook, of course, Browns big win yesterday, but on Sunday we do have some football games, those regional teams. The Patriots visiting the Bills. You can watch that on WSEE. Rain, snow, showers possible for that one. 38 degrees. Going to want to bundle up if heading up there to the Buffalo area for our Sunday. We got the Steelers visiting the Seattle Seahawks. 48 out there into Seattle, and looking at mostly cloudy skies, maybe a passing shower. For more information on our forecast, kind of an in-depth look about what we're seeing over these next few days and beyond, download our new app, erieweatherapp.com, available for iOS and Android. We'll have more on your forecast coming up at 5:30.
5:23 when we come back. Joe Flacco, the name being chanted over in Cleveland last night after that big win for the Browns in front of a hometown crowd. We got clinching a playoff berth. We'll take a look at Flacco's pretty outstanding Thursday night performance. Our Caleb Yager just got back from Cleveland. We got his report coming up from the stadium when Erie News Now Sunrise returns.
From the Erie Sports Now team, here's Caleb Yager.
For the first time since 2020, and for the second time since the year 2002, the Cleveland Browns can officially say, we are going to the NFL playoffs. And they did it in spectacular fashion with a 37-20 win over the New York Jets right here at Cleveland Browns Stadium on Thursday Night Football. And it was great from the start for the Cleveland Browns, getting the offense going, especially Joe Flacco to David Njoku. A couple of big plays, which led to a Jerome Ford 7-yard touchdown. Kevin Stefanski saying after the game how proud he was of his team's effort tonight, leading them to the playoffs for a second time in the span of 4 years.
Obviously, we got a bunch of work to do, and we'll focus on that. But for the moment, proud of this football team, proud of those guys for battling through a bunch of adversity, both tonight and this season. But we'll finish strong next week, and then we'll see what comes.
Joe Flacco at it again, 19 of 29, going for 309 yards through the air. Another impressive performance from the veteran quarterback, making connections and dealing with injuries like Elijah Moore. But he still found ways to get the job done tonight.
I mean, we just seemed to have some room out there. We were moving the line of scrimmage, I felt like, a little bit when we handed the ball off. And in the passing game, there was some space out there, and guys made good plays when they got the ball in his hands. I mean, we had the first third down, and you get the ball to Dave underneath, and he goes who knows how long. You got to remember sometimes your job as a quarterback is just to get the ball in somebody's hands and make good decisions and then let everything else happen from there, and that's kind of what happened on a few of those.
Flacco may have been responsible for 3 of the touchdowns, but the defense certainly did its part as well. A Ronnie Hickman 30-yard pick six was just one of the great plays that the Cleveland Browns defense made all night long.
I love this moment and how far we've come and how far we plan to go. I'm so proud of this team and so appreciative of all the brothers that I have. When push comes to shove, I'll have it just as much or even more.
Even though the Cleveland Browns are celebrating tonight, they are really thinking about Elijah Moore, who went down in the second quarter with a really scary head injury. But they will head into January 7th against the Cincinnati Bengals for the last game of the regular season. That time is to be decided. Reporting from Cleveland, Caleb Yager, Erie Sports Now.
This is Erie News Now.
Here with AJ, the First Warning Weather Center. There is a bit of a chill in the air this morning, but it's not a December chill.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, our average high temperature 37 degrees, and we're lucky we even got into the 30s this morning, but we're now above that. We're at 40, and today kind of more of a seasonable day. The temperature's not really moving around too much. As we head into the weekend, we'll be actually seeing those temperatures really dipping down in the 30s alongside a few of those rain and snow showers. Take a look at Presque Isle. The good news with Presque Isle is, we can see sailors today, not dealing with that dense fog, especially over those lakeshore communities throughout much of the day yesterday. 40 degrees, our temperature more in the way of those green bars continuing. So we're not just staying, I would say, mild today, but also seeing a little bit more in the way of those drier conditions. The sunshine will be peeking out at times. You can see the clear skies actually down towards the Meadville area. Clouds filling in Akron, Pittsburgh area. So not going to be pure sunshine today, but peaks of it are expected. A bit cooler across the interior too, but most spots still above that freezing mark. You can see more of that clockwise flow down to our south. So high pressure likely south there into likely the Maryland area. We're seeing calm winds right now, so not really expecting a whole lot of wind through our daytime. You can see that with our planner, maybe picking up towards 10 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy, partly cloudy skies, kind of trading places here through our daytime. 40, 42 degrees, so a little bit above average for this time of year. Not quite as warm as what we've seen these previous few days. We'll have more on your forecast coming up very shortly.
Now the second state to remove former President Donald Trump from its 2024 primary ballot. Maine officials citing the 14th Amendment's clause against insurrectionists holding office. And it comes almost a week shy of the third anniversary of the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. Jared Hill with the very latest on all of it this morning.
This morning, the Trump campaign is vowing to challenge the decision by Maine Secretary of State to remove the former president from that state's primary ballot.
I am mindful that no Secretary of State has ever deprived a presidential candidate of ballot access. And I'm also mindful that no presidential candidate has ever engaged in insurrection under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment.
The Trump campaign slammed the Maine official as a hyper-partisan Biden-supporting Democrat, accusing her of interfering in the election. Last week, Colorado Supreme Court also removed Trump from their primary ballot, also citing Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which disqualifies a person who's engaged in insurrection from holding office. Both states have put their decisions on hold temporarily, pending appeal. And overnight, another state making a call on Trump. California's Secretary of State declined demands to remove the former president from that state's primary ballot.
We really need a decision from the United States Supreme Court to determine whether or not Donald Trump is qualified to run for and hold the presidency.
One of Trump's top GOP rivals, his former UN ambassador Nikki Haley, is now trying to clear up remarks she made Wednesday, not listing slavery when responding to an audience question in New Hampshire on what caused the Civil War.
It's a given that it's about slavery. To me, it was about but freedom.
The controversy as the former South Carolina governor was rising in the polls just weeks before the first primary voters cast their ballots. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Back here at home, Erie News Now is following a developing story out of Warren County. The district attorney there, Rob Green's announced a major change in career direction, says he's going from being Warren County's top law enforcement official to focusing on marijuana advocacy. He released a statement on Thursday, Green saying he won't run for a fourth term as Warren County DA. Instead, plans to change his focus to advocacy on the issue of marijuana. Voters first elected Green back in 2013. He has 2 years left in his current term. In that statement, Green called himself a freedom-loving Second Amendment Republican who confessed to using cannabis most of his life. Says he recently obtained a Pennsylvania medical marijuana card. Green says he does plan to serve out the rest of his current term. You can get a look at his full three-page statement by heading to ErieNewsNow.com. Well, the man accused of murdering his girlfriend inside their East Erie apartment is due in court today. And according to court records Erie News Now has uncovered, it's not the first time the suspect allegedly committed a violent crime. Now 45-year-old Gordon Kirkland is charged with first-degree murder in the death of 48-year-old Autumn Basham. Police found her body in the yard of a home along East 28th Street back in September. She'd been stabbed to death. Police say Kirkland had cuts to his hand when they found him. Erie News Now has learned that it's far from Kirkland's first run-in with the law. Court records indicate he was charged with unlawful restraint and a gun charge back in 2021. So yeah, just a couple of years ago. His sentence at that point, no jail time. The judge just gave Kirkland 2 years probation and ordered him to attend anger management classes. And that probation period ended the same month as Basham's murder. In court today, it's a scheduled preliminary hearing. That's where a judge will decide if the evidence is enough to send this murder case onto a full trial. Well, Erie News Now has done a number of stories this year on the shortage of nurses here at home and really all across the country. Healthcare providers are still trying to recover from pandemic-related worker shortages. But there is an organization here at home looking to lead the way when it comes to filling those open spots. And Erie News Now's Philip Ward has the story.
Industries throughout the country are still looking to fill positions following the pandemic, and then there was a movement known as the Great Resignation. From April 2021 to April 2022, over 70 million Americans left their jobs. In 2021 alone, the number of nurses working dropped by nearly 100,000.
For us to replenish the workforce and rebuild, it's going to take a little time.
So UPMC created the Jameson School of Nursing on Erie's east side in the former Wayne School building. Chief Nursing Officer of UPMC Hammett, Jim Donnelly, says putting the school in that location was critical to attracting people who normally wouldn't consider nursing as a career path.
By putting the school in that neighborhood, it made people think that's my school. It's in my neighborhood. This is a profession that I can aspire to.
While the program has a strong focus in the classroom, Donnelly says it's clinically intensive, and the training you receive prepares you for real-world situations.
You spend over 1,000 hours in the clinical setting and in lab simulations, learning the specifics, the hands-on skills of nursing.
A program that Donnelly says is working to try and fix the shortages, and after completing the 16 months, students have confidence that they can make a career in the field.
The results speak for themselves. Very high pass rate in terms of nursing boards, and we're thrilled that we've been able to hire a large proportion of the graduates.
Philip Ward, Erie News Now.
All right, 5:35 on your Friday. As online shoppings continue to become more popular in recent years, so has package and mail thefts, unfortunately. But some new consequences could be coming to the so-called porch pirates as we move into the new year. Erie News Now's Elspeth Meisner is live in studio with a look at some of those changes those porch pirates could see when 2024 rolls around. Good morning, Elspeth.
Good morning, Mark. Starting in the new year, porch pirates could receive some harsher consequences, including up to a felony for stealing items that don't belong to them, especially if they're a repeat offender. Governor Josh Shapiro signed a law back in December that carries harsher consequences for people who repeatedly steal packages. A first offense carries a fine, but a third offense and any subsequent thefts will now be prosecuted as a third-degree felony. Pennsylvania is the 9th state to make porch pirating a felony. Deputy Chief Rick Lohr with the Erie Police Department says he hopes the stiffer penalty will act as a deterrent for those who steal.
This is a nationwide problem. I think that anything that our legislators would do to kind of curb this, something give us a little bit more, teeth to charge would be great, because obviously, the worst thing in the world is that you order something for your family or your friends or your loved ones, and someone just comes up and takes it off your porch.
And coming up on Erie News Now Sunrise, we're going to talk more about the uptick that Erie Police has seen when it comes to those porch pirate thefts. Plus, they also have some advice about staying safe for New Year's Eve. Elspeth Meisner, Erie News Now.
Yeah, we are focusing on New Year's Eve on this final Friday of 2023. The people who make it their business to make sure there's plenty to drink on New Year's Eve, they are hard at work these days. Erie News Now Tom Kowalski takes a closer look.
Well, the New Year is typically a time of celebration for many. Few are more excited than local beer manufacturers.
Next year, 2024, is a big year for us. It'll be our 15th anniversary in August.
Jason Lavery of Lavery Brewing Company is excited for the new year, but right now, he's looking forward to ending 2023 on the right foot.
These couple weeks leading up to the new year are really important for breweries like us and pubs around the town, because January and February tend to be really slow months in Erie. You have the weather, you have the Christmas credit card debt coming in, you got dry January, you got, New Year's resolutions to lose a lot of weight. So the pubs, the breweries, the manufacturing tends to slow down in January and February. So these couple of weeks where everybody's out enjoying themselves, families are back in town, are really important to businesses like us.
And for those who are looking to avoid drinking, Blind Tiger Spirit-Free Cocktails founder Rebecca Stein has you covered.
I see kind of like a combination of people that are either doing a dryish January or taking off the month or taking off the year. And we're just a really, a nice option to add into the mix of brands that are kind of burgeoning right now. It's a growing industry. It's a growing market. We've seen it a lot more. Retailers are embracing it more. They're dedicating sections to the non-alcoholic space. So it's just a unique kind of proposition for them when they're looking for an actual cocktail, but without the spirit.
And with 5 varieties available, there's a little bit of something for everybody.
We designed Blind Tiger using the natural flavors of the spirit. So typically back in the Prohibition era, gin was kind of the go-to spirit that was available or made. And a lot of these, that's the base. So we use juniper, but they also pair very well with a variety of light spirits, and it's noted on the box or on the can to what you want to mix it with, and it's super easy. It's a 2-to-1 ratio.
Hey, we do have a long list of all of the big New Year's Eve parties, public celebrations. You can get a look at that list anytime by heading to erienewsnow.com. Yeah, and we're kind of getting the New Year's Eve party started a little bit early on this Friday morning. We're heading into what is going to be a long weekend for a lot of folks, AJ.
Yeah, certainly. And getting a little taste of winter. We're not talking about too much cold. I mean, temperatures still sitting into the 30s, but the flakes flying make it feel more like the season itself. We start off this morning 40 degrees, no flakes, no raindrops, and no fog out there as we start off taking a look at our Gary Miller at the Mall Cam. 40 degrees our temperature, and we'll be staying right around there throughout much of our daytime. As you can see, the green bars continuing on, so we're good to go. Dry conditions here for our daytime as well. Weather impacts, more seasonable, dry until tonight. We are expecting rain, snow showers to push in later on tonight. So if you're out late downtown or something, you got to do that late night drive. Don't be surprised when you do see more in the way of some rain, snow showers. Lighter winds out there too, only about 5 to 10 miles per hour. High temperatures today, 39 into Meadville, 40 out into Bradford, 41 Erie, 40 Cleveland. The warmest air is now further off to our east. You can see Elmira, Williamsport, closer to that 50-degree mark. So departure from normal. When we say it's more seasonable, it's not exactly towards average, but we're a few degrees above here through Erie, Meadville, Cleveland, Akron, Ohio. It's further eastward once again where we do see more of that warmth. We have colder air pushing into the region as we head into tonight, as well as for our weekend. Of details on that and that full 7-day coming up right after the break.
5:41 on your Friday. Still ahead on Erie News Now Sunrise. Unbelievable images coming out of the California coastline. Massive waves slamming the shore there, flooding. Dangerous rip currents as well. We'll tell you all about it. Plus, we are saying cheers to 2024. After the break, we're heading back into the kitchen. Our Megan Selensky and Annie from Red Letter. Yeah, good morning, ladies. Well, they're going to help us ring in the new year with some alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverage options. We're coming right back.
Now, first warning weather with AJ Mastrangelo.
Friday morning wake-up weather headlines get us started here for our daytime. Taste of winter, rain, snow showers expected later on tonight. More winter weather New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. The flakes will likely be flying for the majority of the region. Cooling off, highs more seasonable these next few days, 30s and 40s, no 50s or 60 degrees that we saw on Christmas, and no major fluctuations either. So over these next several days, kind of just sitting where we should be for this time of year. Next week, a few flakes to kick off 2024, cool and quiet as we head into the middle of next week. Numbers from yesterday, 51 degrees was our high temperature, 43 our low temperature. We haven't gone below freezing since back on the 22nd of December. Still trying to get the numbers on that, if that's a record or not, but 0.12 was our rainfall yesterday, so a bit of that rain falling through the middle of the day. Happening right now, no rain, no fog. We're good to go here with our Crime Victim Center Sky Cam. Cloudy skies, 40 degrees our temperature, 86 our humidity, 29.76 our pressure, relatively steady. Swirling low pressure off to the west. You can see some snow showers pushing through Illinois. We're in the dry slot of this low pressure system. We'll likely be staying there throughout much of the daytime, but eventually the winds will be crashing in from the north, and that'll yield a little bit more in the way of those rain, snow showers. Peaks of sunshine through our daytime. Heading through 8 p.m. in come the clouds, and eventually comes the snow. South of 90, east of 79. Could pick up a quick coating by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. We're dry throughout much of Saturday as well as Sunday, but as we head through Sunday afternoon, you can see more of those snow showers pushing into the region. This one not coming from the north, so maybe actually starting as a little bit of rain and snow, but eventually the winds will be shifting on the backside here. And we're bringing in the new year. Yeah, the flakes likely flying across many local communities. Let's get right to that 7-day forecast. Snow accumulation heading through the weekend. As you can see, the temperatures just above freezing to near freezing. so we'll have a tough time actually sticking onto the ground. But nonetheless, the flakes will be flying Saturday, Sunday into our Monday. Quieter weather as we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, as well as Thursday. Temperatures more seasonable as we continue in the first week of 2024.
It's a Foodie Friday, and it's a New Year's Eve Foodie Friday. We're hanging out in the Erie News Now kitchen, which will kind of turn into the bar. Our Megan Selensky has a special guest in studio this morning.
Yes, I have red letters. Annie Lewis, now Annie DePilla.
Yes.
Now that she's been married, she's here to talk a little bit more about the drinks
Absolutely.
of the holiday, because that's what we're focused on. But
Perfect.
not everyone wants to drink during the holidays, so you have some mocktails here to show
I
us.
do. All right, so we have our Cranberry Fizz mocktail, which is available at the Skunk and Goat Tavern. A great option for those non-drinkers. But I also brought, which I'm going to make you do some work
Put
today.
me to work, Annie, please.
Yeah, we kept him here in the segment because
It's
he,
like our
he
number-
bragged he was a pro.
That's
so
what
we gotta,
I heard. So I'm just, we're going to throw you in, and we're
All
going
right,
to see
all
if
right.
you want to be a bartender at the Cork.
I have not been a bartender in my life. You know, I've done some other jobs in the
Well,
restaurant.
come on
industry,
over.
but yeah. All right, I'll give it a
The
shot,
people are
yeah.
great.
All
Okay,
right.
so you're just going to put your,
right.
yep, like that. So this is the espresso martini.
Ooh.
And then you're going to have to shake it a little bit so you get that foam. And then, yep, just keep shaking
She's
around.
got it all measured out, so I'm not going to.
Absolutely.
overflow the
All right,
glass.
so then
only a few drops. That's pretty good.
So then this is the important part. So you
Okay.
always have 3 espresso beans.
Ooh, all right.
Health, wealth, and happiness. So that's your fun fact for the
All right, that's
day,
an
for your fun
outstanding way
fact
to
for
ring in the new
Friday.
year. Am I allowed to give this baby a
Yeah,
try?
please.
And that's not the only thing that you guys are going to be serving for when it comes to alcoholic drinks.
That's delicious. Yeah,
It's
very
smooth.
nice,
This
yeah.
is one of our #1 sellers at both of our restaurants.
Well,
so.
what you told me that all of your guests on New Year's Eve
Yes.
are going to be getting a drink as
So
well. Tell me
all
about that.
those who are of age or would care for a little snippet of bubbly, if you wouldn't mind showing everyone, you'll be having a little toast that you'll be enjoying with your guests that you're dining with that day. So at both the Skunk and Goat and the Cork, each guest will enjoy a little snippet to cheers to the new year.
We were reporting earlier in the week, and it kind of seems to show up every time about this year, talking about shortages of champagne. You're doing good in that regard.
You know what, this year has been much better than last when it comes to the shortages. We still have some of it here and there, but we're locked and loaded. We're ready to go.
Well, after this New Year's Eve holiday, many people might be looking to take a break from drinking.
Absolutely.
But the Skunk and Go and Cork have tons of stuff going on in January for
Yes.
that dry January. What's going on?
So we are kicking off Dry January with 2 mocktail pairing dinners. So we'll have one at the Cork and we'll have one at the Skunk and Goat. So our chefs created an amazing menu. The Cork is a 100% vegetarian menu and 100% spirit-free mocktails. So there's absolutely no alcohol in them. The Skunk and Goat, same thing. Not a vegetarian menu, but an absolutely amazing menu that Chef Ed put together, and all spirit-free mocktails paired with each dish.
All right, so a lot going on.
Yeah, and you
this
can
weekend.
find that out on our Facebook page or our websites.
We'll be here all morning, Mark, so we're going to keep making you come back to work.
All right, yeah, we've got Annie's got some more great drink recipes, both the alcoholic and non-alcoholic kind. So we've got another hour of fun coming up here in the Erie News Now Sunrise Kitchen with Annie. Also ahead here on this Friday morning edition of Erie News Now Sunrise, airports all across the country certainly busy as some of those holiday travelers look to head back home. We'll get you the very latest on how airports are handling that travel rush straight ahead, and also that countdown to the big ball drop. Yeah, certainly happening in New York City as we get ready for the big New Year's Eve celebration right there. Yeah, we'll see 2023. That's all coming up on Erie News Now.
So make the best of this test and don't ask why.
Well, this morning, intense waves out in California are capturing attention across the country and making for some unbelievable images. Out in Ventura County, a rogue wave caught on video hitting the seawall at the beach at the end of a street, causing 8 people to wind up in the hospital. Thankfully, just minor injuries. But yeah, can you imagine these sort of wave just coming in on you? High surf, flood warnings all in effect up and down the California coast at this point. The dangerous conditions have triggered evacuation orders and warnings in some of those coastal communities. Large waves causing some significant flooding along some beaches and coastal roads. Yeah, what a mess in parts of California. New this morning, we're learning a second American held hostage in Gaza has died. Yeah, a 70-year-old Israeli woman with U.S. citizenship was on a walk with her husband October 7th when those Hamas militants invaded Israel. The couple were shot and apparently both died from their wounds. They were among the hundreds abducted in the attack. She was working in Israel as a teacher. Well, the home in Moscow, Idaho, where those 4 University of Idaho students were killed, is now being demolished. Yeah, the work underway there. 4 students killed in that incident last November at the off-campus residence. The suspect in those murders, Brian Koberger, charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and burglary as well. Prosecutors have asked for a summer trial date. Migrants are now amassed at the U.S. southern border with Mexico. It comes as officials from both countries agree to work together more closely to try and tackle these record migration numbers at the border. Migrants gathering behind a razor wire set up by the state of Texas on Thursday. That's after a visit to Mexico. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. The 2 countries say they will seek to tackle the root causes of migration together. Well, this Friday before New Year's Eve, one of the busiest days at airports across the country for this travel season, but it's expected to get even busier in the next couple of days. Of course, that comes as travelers return home as the holiday rush kind of winds down. TSA is expecting to screen more than 2.6 million passengers at airport checkpoints all across the country just today. The FAA says the busiest day is actually tomorrow, some 48,000 flights set to take off. New York City's Times Square preparing for one of the most anticipated events in the city as, of course, New Year's Eve approaches. For 120 years, Times Square has been the center of worldwide attention on New Year's Eve. It all started with the owners of One Times Square conducting rooftop celebrations to ring in the new year. That happened for the first time back in 1907. And this tradition is now a universal symbol of the holiday season. So yeah, we're coming up on that 100th anniversary. The 2024 celebration will feature live performances from artists including Flo Rida, Megan Thee Stallion, and of course that iconic ball drop at midnight. And as the new year approaches, folks are saying good riddance to 2023. And to celebrate, yeah, Good Riddance Day, crowds gathered in Times Square Thursday, basically writing down everything that went wrong in 2023. I might need a second pen, but it's a chance to bid a symbolic farewell to 2023's problems and pet peeves in the past. Shredders and dumpsters were used to make the past sort of go away symbolically. This year, a magician lit those pieces of paper on fire. However, we can get rid of, the negative past and move forward in a positive direction for next year, AJ.
Yeah, most certainly. This is good riddance to microwave mac and cheese. I don't know if I'm on board with that one, though, as we continue into 2024. 40 degrees, Bayfront Cam looking good this morning. No rain, not really too much in the way of cloud cover out there. Actually, we'll be seeing some peaks of sunshine through our daytime. You can see that with our weather impacts. More seasonal today, temperature steady, upper 30s, right around 40 degrees for most. Light winds, too, only about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We're dry through our daytime. Once that sun goes down right around 5 p.m., we'll see our precip chances rising. This is for Erie, Meadville, as well as Warren. First people to see some of the rain snow showers will be right here into the city. Eventually, they'll push into Meadville as well as Warren as we continue into the overnight. A few flakes likely flying even through our daytime tomorrow. Final check of our 7-day forecast before we get towards 6 a.m. We're talking 44 today, nighttime rain, snow. Lingering flurries for tomorrow. A better chance for the rain snow showers comes later in the day for our New Year's Eve, and it does look like the flakes will be flying as we greet 2024. We're at 36 Monday, so the coolest of these next 7 coming earlier on next weekend. We're staying dry throughout much of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Looking good, high temperatures, more seasonable, so we're actually starting to feel a little bit more like winter as we bring in 2024.
And certainly 2023 has been a busy year all around the region. After the break, we'll take a look at some of the big events from the year right here at home. This is Erie News Now. Well, we're getting rid of 2023 this weekend. It's a year that certainly brought our region a lot of pain, suffering, major economic developments, and even some incredible reasons to smile. And this morning, Erie News Now's Ethan Kibbe takes a look back at the year that was.
If your recollection of 2023 is hazy, it might not be your fault. The year actually was hazy, with summer bringing months of Canadian wildfire smoke blanketing our region. Speaking of blankets, or bed sheets to be precise, Michael Burham put them to use in his Warren jail escape. The now convicted kidnapper and suspected killer made a rope of bed sheets and rappelled off the roof of the Warren County Jail, beginning a 9-day manhunt in the Warren County wilderness. He was eventually found not by people, but a dog, putting an end to the anxiety. Summer also brought 2 painful losses. A mentally ill man killed Corrie native and state trooper Jacques Rougeau, leading to a massive funeral at Erie's Bayfront Convention Center, attended by thousands of law enforcement officers and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro. Months later, an allegedly intoxicated driver killed Northeast firefighter Sean Giles, who was directing traffic at a fender bender. Another outpouring of supporters filled Gravel Pit Park to say goodbye. Like the rest of the country, Erie too saw the effects of the year of strikes, with UE 506 web tech workers walking off the job not for days, but for months. The 70-day dispute mirrored strikes among actors, writers, and auto workers. Speaking of shakeups, the Erie Diocese announced tentative plans to end regular Sunday masses at more than a half-dozen churches, with dozens more seeing mergers and new partnerships, all trying to adjust to a declining number of both priests and parishioners. But 2023 wasn't all bad news. On the entertainment front, Flo Rida headlined Celebrate Erie, drawing thousands of concert-goers to State Street. Gary Sinise and his Lieutenant Dan Band did the same at Liberty Park, bringing big checks for first responders. And as you prepare to pop champagne on New Year's Eve, the Seawolves already basked in the bubbly, bringing home their first Eastern League championship in their 30-year history. Erie begins 2024 as a city of champions. Ethan Kibbe, Erie News Now.
Love that. Thanks to you, Ethan, for that one. Now, let's get you outside. Check out the Bicentennial Tower and a dark Presque Isle Bay. This is a look from our Oliver's camera. When we come back, your first warning forecast and all your top stories. We're also getting you ready for New Year's Eve. Stay with us. Yeah, that was a fun. And this morning on Erie News Now, another state kicking former President Donald Trump off his 2024 election ballot, all for his role in the January 6th assault on the U.S. Capitol. We've got the latest on what the Trump legal team is saying about it this morning, and another state weighing in on the president's 2024 fate as well. Plus, a major change of direction for one of the area's top law enforcement officials. Warren County DA Rob Green's announcing his future plans to head in a decidedly green, as in leafy green direction. Yeah, we've got those developing details. And we're counting down to 2024, and we've got some celebrating to do right here at home. From staying safe through the parties and some mocktail recipes your guests are sure to love, to look at all your Sunday night live music options, we've got everything you need to know to ring in the new year in style. All coming up on your Friday, December 29th edition of the Erie News Now Sunrise.
With coverage you can count on, welcome to Erie News Now Sunrise.
And we'll start you off with a live look at the city of Erie from our Skyview 12 camera on this final Friday of 2023. Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the broadcast this morning. Mark Saldi alongside meteorologist A.J. Mastrangelo. Tracy Tudup has the week off, and it's been a week that's offered up us some, above average temperatures, and it kind of seems like we're keeping the theme going.
Yeah, we're keeping that theme going this morning. Temperatures got up to 50 degrees yesterday, not the 60 we saw on our Christmas. As I give a fist bump to Elspeth. Good morning, Elspeth. How are you this morning? But we will be seeing more in the way of some colder temperatures we head into the weekend. Starting to feel like the season. We're not talking teens and 20s, but the flakes will be flying likely as we start off our 2024. 35 this morning out into Meadville, South Main, Linden Street. Bob Ferrando World Cam looking good this morning. No rain, no fog to contend with. You can see those green bars lasting us here through the early morning hours into the afternoon. So we'll likely be staying dry here through our daytime. Visibility 3 miles right now into Erie, 10 in the Meadville area, 10 Ashtabula. Inland spots more of the same, closer to that 10-mile mark out into Bradford as well as Jamestown. Temperatures 35 Girard, we're down to 37 into Erie, 35 Meadville, 36 Corey, 38 Warren. So many spots close to the freezing mark. So any of that standing water may be freezing up, especially across some of those higher elevations. So take it slow out there. Watch out for a little bit of that black ice possibly there on the driveway. Winds right now only about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Not expecting a whole lot of wind today, a little bit more than what we saw yesterday. We're at 40, 42 noon and 4 p.m. expecting a few peaks of sunshine here and staying dry even as we head for our dinner time. That'll be changing. Of details on those precip chances coming up very shortly.
We're going to help you get ready for New Year's Eve in just a bit, but we begin our top story check this morning with the very latest on the 2024 presidential race. This morning, Maine is now the second state to remove former President Donald Trump from its ballot for next year, citing the 14th Amendment's clause against insurrectionists holding office. This move from Maine comes almost a week shy of the third anniversary of the deadly insurrection down in D.C. The Trump campaign now vowing to challenge the decision. It comes after last week's decision from Colorado Supreme Court, also removing Trump from that state's primary ballot and also citing Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Both states have put their decisions, though, on hold temporarily pending an appeal. And new overnight, another state making a call on Trump, California's Secretary of State, declining demands to remove the former president from that state's primary ballot. Well, back here at home, Erie News Now is following a developing story out of Warren County this morning. The district attorney there, Rob Green, has announced a major change in his career direction. Says he's going from being Warren County's top law enforcement official to focusing on marijuana advocacy. In a statement released on Thursday, Warren County DA Rob Green says he won't run for a fourth term. Instead, plans to focus on advocacy on the issue of marijuana. Voters first elected Republican Green back in 2013, and he has 2 years left on his current term. Now, in that statement released on Thursday, Green called himself a freedom-loving Second Amendment Republican who did confess to using cannabis for most of his life. Says he recently obtained a Pennsylvania medical marijuana card. Green says he plans to serve out the rest of his current term. You can get a look at his full 3-page statement by heading to erienewsnow.com. 6:03, the man accused of murdering his girlfriend inside their East Erie apartment is due in court today. He's now 45-year-old Gordon Kirkland, charged with first-degree murder in the death of 48-year-old Autumn Basham. Police found her body in the yard of a home along East 28th Street back in September. She'd been stabbed to death. And police say Kirkland had cuts to his hand when they found him. In court later today, it's a scheduled preliminary hearing for Kirkland, and that's where a judge will decide if the evidence is enough to send this murder case onto a full trial. Erie News Now has done a number of stories this year on the shortage of nurses here at home and really across the country. Healthcare providers still trying to recover from pandemic-related worker shortages in some cases. There is an organization, though, right here at home working to lead the way when it comes to filling those open nursing positions. And the Labor Department says from April of 2021 to the following April, more than 70 million Americans left their jobs. And in 2021 alone, the number of nurses working dropped by nearly 100,000. And as a result, UPMC created the Jameson.
By putting the school in that neighborhood, it made people think that's my school. It's in my neighborhood. This is a profession that I can aspire to. And as a result, we have seen a significant portion of our enrollment come from that area.
More than 100 students graduate. Their goal, they say, to have close to 200 students annually moving forward. Well, the countdown to New Year's Eve is on. It is getting close, and it's a night to celebrate for a lot of folks, but it also can be a busy night for local police. Erie News Now's Elspeth Meisner live in studio. She's been waiting patiently to deliver this report. How are police locally, Elspeth, preparing for a busy weekend, perhaps a busy, certainly New Year's Eve evening?
Mark, not only do local police have to worry about New Year's Eve in itself, but also tonight and tomorrow, as many people might be starting those celebrations a little bit earlier. While many people might be going out to ring 2024 this weekend, if they aren't safe and smart, they could be in for some harsh consequences. That includes a DUI. Deputy Chief Rick Lohr of the Erie Police Department say it's always best to have a designated driver if you do plan on going out on New Year's Eve. And be sure to take advantage of rideshare apps such as Uber or Lyft. He also says the police department tends to see an uptick in activity when New Year's Eve falls on a weekend.
I'm sure that it's going to be busy. We've prepared for that. We'll have extra patrols out there, so in the downtown area, and specifically looking for drivers under the influence. So we would just ask, like I said, that you be safe, have a great weekend, come downtown and celebrate the new year, but just be safe.
And coming up on Erie News Now Sunrise, we're going to continue to talk to the Erie Police Department about a new law that could be going into effect in the new year and get their take on it, especially when it comes to those porch pirates as well. Elspeth Meisner, Erie News Now.
All right, thanks, Elspeth. We're right in the middle of the Kwanzaa celebration on this Friday morning, coming off a Thursday event focused on Kwanzaa at Erie's Quality of Life Learning Center. Each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa highlights 7 of the holiday's principles. During Thursday's Kwanzaa event here in Erie, community members shared their talents, spoke about the holiday's meaning, and just came together over some food. Board member Denise Horton says the African-American holiday aims to both remember history and inspire.
It started in this country in 1966. By Dr. Maulana Karenga. It gives one hope. It talks about our struggles, our victory, what we learned from our ancestors, and traditions that we like to keep, and traditions that are good to carry forward.
The annual Kwanzaa celebration continues right through January 1st. New this morning, the Cleveland Browns are playoff bound after a big win in front of a big crowd last night. They also got another big game from their new quarterback, Joe Flacco. Yeah, it was a full house over in Cleveland for the final Thursday night game of the season. Fans certainly fired up for their opportunity to see the team clinch on their home field, and they were chanting Flacco for the better part of the night. Yeah, the former Jet and Raven quarterback got off to a strong start in this one as the offenses were clicking early on. This is Flacco with a 7-yard connection with running back Jerome Ford, an early 7-0 lead for Cleveland. And yeah, Flacco's big night was just beginning. He threw 3 TD passes in all, including this one. Yeah, this one early. This was, I believe, first half as the Browns kind of built that big lead. One of the bigger highlights of Joe Flacco's night, this escape, scramble, and connection with Jerome Ford once again. Yeah, on the run, hits Ford. He takes it 50 yards to the house. Cleveland led 34-17 at halftime, and they went on to post a 37-20 win. The Browns moved to 11-5 on the year. They have clinched the team's second postseason berth in the past 4 years. And we have some NFL action still to come this weekend, AJ.
Yeah, certainly. Could actually see a few flakes flying for the Buffalo game. So traveling up towards Orchard Park later on this weekend. Might want to bring some of those layers out there as we continue to see a little bit more of a wintry feel out there this morning. Yeah, temperatures back down into the 30s. We still haven't gotten below freezing. That's 32 degrees, of course, since back on December the 22nd. So has been a mild stretch at that. Our average high temperature is 37 degrees, and we're right around that to start off this morning. Weather impacts for the daytime, more seasonable with highs upper 30s, low 40s, dry until tonight. So our daytime looking good, but definitely some rain, snow showers expected through the overnight. Light winds too, only about 5 to 10 miles per hour, a little bit more than what we saw yesterday. Looks like a lot of fluctuation with the temperatures, but yeah, this is only on the magnitude of about 2 degrees, going between 39, 40 degrees through our daytime. And you can see our afternoon high temperatures expecting more of the same. Pretty much everyone in the same kind of ballpark here. We're going 41 Erie, 39 Titusville, 38 Jamestown, 40 out there into Bradford. Once again, we'll taste some winter coming for tonight as well as your New Year's Eve. I'll have details on that coming up right after the break.
And on your Friday, taking a live look at New York City this morning. The Big Apple, of course, getting ready to say so long to 2023. And after the break, we're heading over to our Erie News Now kitchen to check out some of the drinks that'll help you ring in a new year right here at home.
Now, first warning weather with AJ Mastrangelo.
Starting off with our wake-up weather headlines, we continue here for our Friday. We're talking about, a little taste of winter. Rain, snow, showers expected through the overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Nothing major out there, but a little bit more wintry weather for New Year's Eve later on in the day, and that will likely last into our New Year's Day as well. So taking a look at those temperatures, we'll be cooling off. No more 50s or 60s like what we saw for our Christmas in these past few days, but seasonable temperatures, 30s, 40s for those afternoon highs, and no major fluctuations expected either. So we're remaining relatively constant these next several days. Talking about next year, well, next year is actually next week. A few flakes expected to start off 2024 cool and quiet heading into the middle of next week. Numbers from yesterday, 51 degrees, our high temperature, 43, our low. Of course, both those well above our averages for this time of year. 0.12 was the rainfall there falling at the airport. Happening right now, no rain, no fog. We're good to go to start off this morning. Cloudy skies being reported at the airport. Actually, mostly clear skies now. I did notice a little bit less in the way of that cloud cover on satellite, and we're also seeing that verified at the airport. Humidity 96%, and our pressure has been generally steady since this time yesterday. You can see a swirling low pressure system off to our west. We're in the dry slot of this storm system, but eventually we'll see more of this moisture push further and further southward. Not dealing with it right now, but as you can see with that satellite, a few of the thicker clouds pushing off to the north, so I do think we'll see peaks of sunshine through our daytime. You can see that with future casts, maybe a flurry as we head through the afternoon, especially down into the Meadville, Cambridge Springs area. The clouds most definitely fill in later on this evening. Take a look. We got some snow as we head for the overnight into tomorrow morning. South of 90, higher elevations of Erie, Chautauqua counties could pick up a quick coating. Even inland spots could wake up to a few of those snowflakes, and likely staying dry throughout much of our Saturday, but different stories as we head for our New Year's Eve. This is Sunday at 8 a.m. The clouds once again returning back into the region. In comes the snow as we head for our Sunday evening. New Year's Eve night into New Year's Day. Yeah, bringing in 2024 with more of those snow showers. Temperatures in the 30s, so we'll have a difficult time accumulating, but can't rule out a few light coverings across the region, especially some of the higher terrain. We're at 42 today, 38 tomorrow. Up to 40 for our Sunday. Kind of these next 3 days looking like the best chances for any precipitation. As we start off the new year, temperatures more seasonable. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, peaks of sunshine. Temperatures once again right near 40 degrees.
6:14, thank you, AJ. It's a special New Year's Eve Foodie Friday edition here on Erie News Now Sunrise, and our Megan Selensky has brought in a special guest as a result.
Yeah, we're going to skip the food for this week and go straight to the drinks. So that's what New Year's Eve is all about. And I have Red Letter Hospitality's Annie DePillo to talk a little bit about what you guys have on the menu for New Year's Eve. And we'll start the alcoholic drinks, of course.
Okay, so I guess we're calling it Boozy Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of
All right. We'll work
Friday.
on the graphic. We'll get that
Okay,
fixed.
perfect. So this weekend, it's one of our busiest weekends of the year. So for dinner at the Cork and the Skunk and Goat, we are completely booked. We have some early dinner reservations, but we're open for brunch.
All right, there you
So
go.
Skunk and Goat opens at 8 a.m. and the Cork opens at 10 a.m. So I figured, let's talk about a Bloody Mary.
All right, yeah. That's
So
a little something to kind of get you through the morning into lunchtime, so to speak.
Start your morning right, and sometimes, this might actually work as a meal as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a little bit of a Foodie Friday drink mix right here.
So if you want to help with the fixing.
Yeah, Mark, we wanted to put you to work this morning.
Put me to work. Let's talk about these fixings,
So
Annie.
it is almost like a small meal.
We've got a mix here. Let's kind of go from one end to the other. We've got obviously a lemon and a lime. But
we have our Smoky Joe. So we make this at the Skunk and Goat Tavern. So it is a smoked jerky.
Okay.
And then cheese curd, olive, and then lemon and lime.
All right, so we kind of just
just plop her in.
Oh, this way?
Yep, put her just dagger. Yep, perfect. And then you got to add the celery just to make it like a kind of healthy, right? Right.
There's a little food in this drink.
Right.
Well, not everyone's going to want to drink, though, and especially as we head into that dry January next month. At the Red Letter locations, you have a complete separate menu for people. Can you talk a little bit about your mocktails?
So we do have a mocktail menu. So at the Cork, it's called our spirit-free menus. So they're non-alcoholic beverages. So I have here for you, this is our new fashion. It's a old-fashioned, basically without the booze. So it is a non-alcoholic bourbon and none of the bitters. So if you want to give that a whirl.
And for the people that love their old fashions, how do they think this compares that have tried it?
So what I've heard, and I'm an old fashioned girl myself, it's really nice and smooth. You don't get that, I guess, obviously not the bourbon taste, so it's not as intense. It's really nice.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
Is there a secret to the difference between a regular cocktail and the mocktails you guys make?
Absolutely. So we have at the cork specifically, we have a complete mocktail set. So we have from flavored lemonades for those who completely just don't even want to be associated with alcohol, which absolutely we can tailor to. And then we have our spirit-free list. So it's drinks like this that are basically takes on cocktails, just are completely non-alcoholic. So we have non-alcoholic bourbons, vodkas, tequilas, all different lines.
Well, Mark, this is delicious, and it has such a similarity, and we'll be here coming up later in the show as well, and she'll have even more of these mocktails to show us for people that might be looking for that dry January option.
All right, I invaded your segment right now, Megan, and you're going to come join me in our trend segment coming up next. We're going to be talking about some of our top trenders for 2023 as we head into the new year. Taylor Swift certainly on the top of that trending list, but we've got a trender from right here at home as well. Yeah, so Megan and I will spell that all out for you when we come right back. Back on your Friday morning, 6:18. That means it's time to go trending. And since I invaded her segment on drinks for New Year's Eve, our Megan Selensky is going to go trending with us on this Friday morning. And Megan, we're kicking it off with a look at just a few of the big trenders from this year past. And we couldn't start it all off without talking about, I think you can probably guess who we're kicking off our trending story list with. Yeah, it's Taylor Swift.
Of course. Well, in March, Swift embarked on a record-breaking worldwide tour. It's expected to rank more than $2 billion in North American ticket sales alone. Spotify and Apple Music have both named her Artist of the Year. Time Magazine, of course, naming her Person of the Year as well.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of awards. And the Swift fluence, you could say, actually spread beyond music here in 2023. We talked about this on a number of occasions. We had that whole Taylor Swift week here in the morning. The artist was spotted not on the bleachers, but in a box as she debuted a new relationship with the Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. The love story boosted ticket sales and the NFL's TV ratings. And get this, though, Taylor Swift's Eras tour, not done yet. Going to continue through next year. So we know all too well that it'll probably be another year of Swift.
I mean, you know, our executive producer wasn't going to let us wrap the year up without talking. She's big Swiftie. She had to get her Taylor Swift in there.
Emma Knavel was one of the many folks who paid the big bucks and
went
to one of those T-Swift Eras concerts this year past. All right, hey, it was a big year, of course, for artificial intelligence. 2023 was the year AI went from nerdy jargon to a daily part of politics, entertainment, and even for some, Megan, schoolwork.
Well, yes, you probably have heard of ChatGPT at this point. It comes industry leader OpenAI and now has 100 million weekly users since its launch last year, with 92% of Fortune 500 companies using its software. It's also been used to catch a glimpse of our thoughts, spot mental health risks in children, and create tons and tons of weird art.
And were you watching any of the Browns game last night? They were using artificial intelligence.
I saw some of the game.
Spotlight some of the players that thought were going to rush the line of scrimmage. So artificial intelligence is now creeping into the sports world as well. It does come with some questions, though, with the possibility of being misused. Back in late October, President Biden issued that executive order requiring tech companies to report to the government about the risks of artificial intelligence that they're developing at, it has to be called breakneck speed. Just this month, the European Union agreed to some landmark legislation trying to regulate the technology.
Well, Mark, you said it was used in school. I hope my siblings or anybody else that I know is still in school is not using it. They're those.
No, for sure.
Of course, they're the exception.
Do you have ChatGPT on your phone?
Not on my phone. I do have it.
Yeah. I have it on my phone, but I'm just struggling for a place to use it, basically, at this point. So, yeah, I think that's, we're all kind of trying to figure out artificial intelligence.
Oh, I'm sure you'll find its uses, Mark.
All right, finally, we're taking a look at what was trending in the world of sports right here at home. Yeah, of course, we're talking about baseball, baby.
Now, it's the Erie Seawolves claiming their first ever Eastern Little League title.
Not Little League, Eastern League.
Eastern League, I am sorry. They beat the Birmingham Rumble Ponies with a 10-0 win.
Yeah, kicking those Binghamton Rumble Ponies to the curb. So many players contributed to the Seawolves playoff run. Trey Cruz drove in 6 postseason runs. The fans were a factor. The pitching was outstanding for the Seawolves. And they set a postseason attendance record. Just over 6,100 fans in the stand for that big championship win.
Well, I did go to several games, so obviously I need to apologize for screwing up which league that they're in, but I know AJ will be able to better
Hey, our man
be a
AJ
bigger
Mastrangelo, he was taking part in a lot of those Seawolves games. He had that, what was it, the Snow Wolves hoodie that you were wearing to a couple of those games.
Yeah, I mean, we were there from the start to the end. I mean, we were live at the ballpark there for opening day. And then, of course, the end of the year celebration was a sight to see. We'll be bringing in 2024 with a few snowflakes out there. Let's take a look at what we got for New Year's Eve itself. As we head towards 6 p.m. dinner time, expect some flakes to be flying. But take a look at our temperatures, 38, 36 degrees. So actually a few raindrops still possible to start off, especially by the lakeshore, but nonetheless, the snow coming down likely as we do ring in 2024. So as we head for New Year's Day itself, those flurries likely lasting into the morning hours. Shouldn't be causing too many concerns out there, but inland spots will be a little bit colder than this, so a few light coverings of snow not out of the question. Taking a look at some sporting events. No Seawolves games, but we'll be seeing an Otters game. That'll be indoors, so expect some colder temperatures there. But if you are heading up to Orchard Park Sunday afternoon, New Year's Eve, we have the Patriots facing off against the Bills. John Stalin, AJ Mastrangelo, great rivalry. Dakota Hunter, also a Patriots fan as well. 38 degrees, a rain, snow shower possible for that game. And then as we head for our Sunday, the Steelers visiting over to Seattle, and we are expecting a little bit more in the way of some warmer temperatures there, 48 degrees under a mostly cloudy sky, maybe a raindrop or two. Not that uncommon there into Seattle. As we take a look at our Erie weather app, it's now available iOS and Android, brought to you by Bathfair. Scan that code and you can download it relatively quickly. We'll have more on your forecast coming up at 6:30.
Back at 6:26, it's time for a special edition of our live music chat. Special because it's all focused on New Year's Eve. Yeah, Jack Stevenson with the two-man happy hour crew breaking down those live music options across the region for Sunday night.
Hey everybody, it's Jack Stevenson from Two Man Happy Hour. Interested in some great local live music right here in Erie, PA for New Year's Eve? Well, here's a few ideas for you. If you love great classic rock and roll, well, you could check out Twisted Lid. They're going to be ringing in the new year at the Raskeller, and that starts at 7 p.m. Looking for a little country music to go with the new year? Well, you may want to catch Bucked Up. They're going to be jamming with all the best country and rock tunes at Doc Holidays, and that starts at 8 p.m. Finally, if you're heading out a little bit later, you may want to hit Churchill's Bourbon and Brews at Presque Isle Downs. They've got the Geek Army at 10 p.m. with all your favorite party and dance classics. So, hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Erie News Now, Erie's rockin' news station. And as usual, for the full list of the area's live music events, hit the Two Man Happy Hour website at the number 2manhappyhour.com. I'm Jack Stevenson, and we hope you have a fantastic 2024. Peace out, everybody.
Thank you, Jack. Yeah, from New Year's Eve right here in Erie to a live look at New York City and Times Square this morning. That's where the big New Year's Eve bash happens each and every year. We'll take a look at how the Big Apple's preparing for the big ball drop coming up.
This is Erie News Now.
Here in the First Warning Weather Center with meteorologist A.J. Mastrangelo. We saw Christmas bring some very unusually warm weather. So what's New Year's Eve and New Year's Day hold in store?
Well, I do think Old Man Winter's finally going to get its act together a little bit. I mean, we're not talking about teens and 20s or dangerous wind chills or anything, but the flakes will be flying. We'll be back into the 30s. We're waking up this morning back into the 30s once more. 37 with our Gary Miller at the Mulcam. You can see more in the way. Those green bars continuing through the morning and the afternoon. So high pressure down to our south will keep us dry here through our daytime. That'll change later on tonight, though. You can see clear skies starting to develop here across Meadville, Newcastle, even some stars out here into Erie. 34 over towards Cleveland, 32 Akron, a bit more cloud cover, and we won't be seeing pure sunshine today, but nonetheless more than what we have been seeing. Calm winds down there in Pittsburgh. You can see more of that clockwise flow with the winds down to our south, so a ridge of high pressure going right up here into northwest Pennsylvania. Once again, that's keeping us dry and quiet here for our daytime. Cloudy skies 8 a.m., partly cloudy noontime. Temperatures right into those lower 40s. In some inland spots, just sitting in the upper 30s through the afternoon. Winds right near 10 miles per hour. Clouding up as we head for 8 p.m. And yeah, talking about some snowflakes heading into tonight. I'll have details on that coming up in a few minutes.
So the 2024 race for the White House, Maine is now the second state to remove former President Donald Trump from its 2024 primary ballot, citing the 14th Amendment's clause against insurrectionists holding office. And it comes almost a week shy of the third anniversary of that January 6th insurrection. Jared Hill with the very latest on all of it this morning.
This morning, the Trump campaign is vowing to challenge the decision by Maine's Secretary of State to remove the former president from that state's primary ballot.
I am mindful that no Secretary of State has ever deprived a presidential candidate of ballot access. And I'm also mindful that no presidential candidate has ever engaged in insurrection under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment.
The Trump campaign slammed the Maine official as a hyper-partisan Biden-supporting Democrat, accusing her of interfering in the election. Last week, Colorado Supreme Court also removed Trump from their primary ballot, also citing Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which disqualifies a person who's engaged in insurrection from holding office. Both states have put their decisions on hold temporarily, pending appeal. And overnight, another state making a call on Trump. California's Secretary of State declined demands to remove the former president from that state's primary ballot.
We really need a decision from the United States Supreme Court to determine whether or not Donald Trump is qualified to run for and hold the presidency.
One of Trump's top GOP rivals, his former UN ambassador Nikki Haley, is now trying to clear up remarks she made Wednesday, not listing slavery when responding to an audience question in New Hampshire on what caused the Civil War.
It's a given that it's about slavery. To me, it was about what freedom.
The controversy as the former South Carolina governor was rising in the polls just weeks before the first primary voters cast their ballots. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Well, Erie News Now is following a developing story out of Warren County on your Friday morning. The district attorney there, Rob Green, has announced a major change in career direction, says he's going from being Warren County's top law enforcement official to focusing on marijuana advocacy. In a statement released on Thursday, Warren County DA Rob Green says he won't run for a fourth term, plans to change his focus to advocacy on the issue of marijuana. Voters first elected the Republican Green back in 2013, and he has 2 years left in his current term. Now, in that Thursday statement, Green called himself a freedom-loving Second Amendment Republican who confessed to using cannabis most of his life. He says he recently obtained a Pennsylvania medical marijuana card. Green says he plans to serve out the rest of his current term as Warren County DA. You can get a look at his full statement, 3 pages worth, by heading to erienewsnow.com. Well, the man accused of murdering his girlfriend inside their East Erie apartments due in court today, and according to court records that Erie News Now has uncovered, it's not the first time the suspect allegedly committed a violent crime. He's now 45-year-old Gordon Kirkland, and he's charged with first-degree murder in the death of 48-year-old Autumn Basham. Police found Basham's body in the yard of a home along East 28th Street back in September. She'd been stabbed to death. Police say Kirkland had cuts to his hand when they found him. Erie News Now has learned, though, it was far from Kirkland's first run-in with the law. Court records indicate that he was charged with unlawful restraint and a gun charge back in 2021. His sentence at that point? Well, no jail time. The judge gave Kirkland 2 years probation and ordered him to attend anger management classes. And that 2-year probation period ended the same month as Basham's murder. In court today, it's a scheduled preliminary hearing. That's where a judge will decide if the evidence is enough to send this murder case onto a full trial. Well, as online shopping has continued to grow and really become popular in recent years, so has, unfortunately, package and mail thefts from right off your porch. There are some new consequences, though, that could be coming the way of those porch pirates as we head towards 2024. Erie News Now's Elspeth Meisner live in studio with a look at just some of those changes and what they could be. Good morning, Elspeth.
Good morning, Mark. Starting in the new year, porch pirates could receive harsher consequences, including up to a felony for stealing items that don't belong to them, especially if they're a repeat offender. Governor Josh Shapiro signed a law in December that carries harsher consequences for people who repeatedly steal packages. A first offense carries a fine, but a third offense and any subsequent thefts will now be prosecuted as a third-degree felony. Pennsylvania is the 9th state to make porch pirating a felony. Deputy Chief Rick Lohr with the Erie Police Department says he hopes the stiffer penalty will act as a deterrent for those who steal.
Yeah, sure. So with the onset of online shopping, obviously people are receiving more gifts and leaving them on your porch. So certainly we've seen an uptick in thefts. So I think that maybe a new law or a new ordinance is appropriate.
Once again, this new law coming to Pennsylvania at the start of the new year, so something that porch pirates should be aware of, especially if they do plan on continuing to steal those packages. Elspeth Meisner, Erie News Now.
All right, thanks so much, Elspeth. As we head towards New Year's Eve, the people who make it their business to make sure there's plenty to drink for those New Year's Eve parties, they're hard at work these days. Even non-alcoholic drink makers are looking forward to the boost they'll see from folks participating in Dry January. That's when a lot of folks avoid alcohol. But of course, alcoholic beverage makers, breweries right here at home, say this upcoming weekend is likely their last hurrah when it comes to big sales.
these couple weeks leading up to the new year are really important for breweries like us and pubs around the town because January and February tend to be really slow months in Erie. You know, you have the weather, you have the Christmas credit card debt coming in, you got dry January, you got, you know, New Year's resolutions to lose a lot of weight. So the pubs, the breweries, the manufacturing tends to slow down in January and February. So these couple of weeks where everybody's out enjoying themselves, families are back in town, are really important to businesses like us.
If you're thinking about, hey, what am I going to do come New Year's Eve night? We've got a list of all the big New Year's Eve parties and the public celebrations. You can check it out anytime by heading to erienewsnow.com. Well, we are right in the middle of the annual Kwanzaa celebration this morning. There was a Thursday event focused on Kwanzaa at Erie's Quality of Life Learning Center. Each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa highlights 7 of the principles of the holiday. And during Thursday's event, community members shared their talents, spoke about the holiday's meaning, and came together over food. Board member Denise Horton says the African-American holiday aims to remember history and inspire. The annual Kwanzaa celebration continues right through January 1st. New this morning, the Cleveland Browns are playoff bound after a big win in front of a big crowd last night, and they also got another big game from the new quarterback, Joe Flacco. Yeah, the former Raven and former Jet. It was a full house in Cleveland for that final Thursday night game of the season, and they were chanting Flacco's name for the better part of the night as he took the field and got started pretty much right away. A 7-yard touchdown connection with Jerome Ford for an early 7-0 lead. It was Joe Flacco's night. At least it was Joe Flacco's first half. The two teams combined for 51 first half points, and Flacco was just all over his passes, making connections in the end zone 3 times in all last night. And there was a bit of an escape scramble connection with Jerome Ford once again on this play. He kind of bounces out of the pocket there and then tosses one to Ford. He goes 50 yards to the house. Cleveland ends up, after a 34-17 halftime lead, winning at 37-20 the final score. So the Browns 11-5 on the year, and they did in fact clinch the team's the postseason berth, their second berth in the past 4 years. So Browns fans might still be celebrating as we now move past 6:30 on this Friday morning. They were certainly celebrating big time down at the game last night.
Yeah, vintage performance there from Joe Flacco, and he is indeed still an elite quarterback, if folks were wondering about that. As we continue into the weekend, got some football games, of course, the Bills, as well as the Patriots, of course, facing off against them, and we do have the Steelers. We'll get to that football forecast coming up shortly, but let's talk about what we got going on for today. 37 degrees as we start off with our Gary Miller at the mall camp. A few folks out and about earlier on this morning. We see more in the way. Green Barn, so we're staying dry here for the last day of the work week, if you are actually working this week. More seasonable, dry until tonight, so high pressure in place, keeping a bit of sunshine in our region, and as well as those quiet conditions. Light winds expected too, only about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Precip chances next 24 hours. We got Erie in the red, Meadville in the yellow, Warren in the blue. And you can see everyone kind of spilling into the scattered numerous category. It's not going to be really for our daytime. It's after dinner time into the overnight where we're likely seeing rain, snow, showers. Could pick up a quick coating, especially for those snowbelt locations. We're at 41 into the afternoon for Erie, 39 Meadville, 38 Jamestown, 40 Warren, 39 out there into Bradford. So winter starting to get its act together. All the rest of that 7-day forecast detailing the first week of 2024 coming up right after the break.
Thank you, AJ. 6:39 on your Friday. Coming up, some wild images coming out of California as massive waves slam the coastline there. We're talking about flooding, dangerous rip currents. We'll get to the details straight ahead. Plus, we are saying cheers to 2023. We're saying goodbye to 2023 and hello to 2024. Yeah, cheers this morning from our Megan Selensky and Annie from Red Letter. After the break, we're heading back into the Erie News Now kitchen to sip on some of the festive drinks that are sure to help you ring in the new year. Erie News Now Sunrise is coming right back.
Now, first warning weather with AJ Mastrangelo.
Alrighty, final check of our Friday morning wake-up weather headlines. We're talking about a little taste of winter. Temperatures back down into the 30s and some rain, snow showers pushing in later on tonight after our dinner time into the overnight. Could wake up to a quick coating across the snow belts. More winter weather New Year's Eve and New Year's Day as some pockets of snow likely developing there for our Sunday afternoon, lasting into the start of 2024. Cooling off, highs more seasonable, 30s and 40s expected, and no major fluctuations expected here over the course of these next 7 days. So won't be really getting back into the 50s and really won't be getting down into the 20s either. Next year, few flakes kicking off 2024. Cool and quiet heading to the middle of next week. Next year is next week, if you didn't get that. The numbers, 51 yesterday was our high temperature, 43 our low temperature. So both those, once again, well above even our average high temperature for this time of year. 0.12 was our rainfall falling there at the airport. No rain falling from the sky right now. We're actually seeing a bit of clearing out there as we continue to take a look at our crime victim center. Skycam, 37 degrees our temperature. South wind 3 miles per hour. 29.75 is our pressure, and that has remained generally constant here. We're in the dry slot of our low pressure system as the continues to decay off to our west, providing some snow showers there into Illinois. But you can see more of a kind of a northerly wind developing there in the upper Great Lakes, and eventually that spills into our region, and that's why we'll be seeing more in the way of some active weather tonight. Let's take you through our future cast. You can see noontime, a few peaks of sunshine across the region here. Clouds fill back in tonight. In comes the rain and the snow, lasting into our Saturday early morning hours. But by midday, only a few flakes flying across the region here, a few flurries lasting into the afternoon. Saturday night into Sunday, still looking dry. Maybe a bit of some lake effect precipitation off to our north, but it's Sunday afternoon. In comes the snow. Dinner time for our New Year's Eve. Expect to see the snow flying, maybe in some spots picking up a light covering here. So maybe a bit slippery on the roadways, but temperatures into the 30s and possibly some upper 20s will negate the majority of accumulation there. So not expecting a lot of snow here through the weekend, but definitely will be coming down from the sky, and likely as we bring in 2024, the flakes will be flying. We're at 36 for the first day of 2024. After that, starting to clear on out. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, high temperatures right near 40 degrees.
Come on in and join our early New Year's Eve party. It's a liquid edition of Foodie Friday here on Erie News Now Sunrise. Our Megan Selensky is getting the party started with a special guest.
Well, our guest all morning has been calling it the Boozy Friday. I
I like
have
that,
Red Letters Annie DePello with us to talk a little bit about some of those drinks that we'll be having New Year's Eve.
Okay, so let's jump into it. Mark, let's get to work.
All right.
All right, so we have an espresso martini, so you're going to have to just shake it hard. So we have vodka, Kahlua, espresso, simple syrup. Yep, you got to, all right, and then you got to use the strainer.
All right.
So the espresso martini is one of our hottest sellers.
In this field this morning.
Okay, awesome. That looks great. And then over here we have a mocktail. So Megan, if you want to add some cranberries for that garnish.
The garnish on the top.
Perfect.
Right. And these garnishes are, say it again, Annie.
Okay, so health, wealth, and happiness are espresso beans. So you have to have 3. It's good luck. So awesome. So I will go ahead and pour us some bubbly as well.
So we have some alcoholic drinks over here, but let's talk a little bit about these non-alcoholic ones. So once we get past the new year, a lot of people will be participating in that dry January, so to speak. So can you talk a little bit about just some of the non-alcoholic options you guys have all year round on your menus?
Absolutely. So dry January is a great way to kickstart it, but at our Red Letter locations, we have mocktail options all year long. So here is a cranberry lime fizz that's at the Skunk and Go Tavern. It's a great option, and we have a couple other drinks as well. The Cork has a pretty dense list, so their menu is called the Spirit-Free Cocktail List. So no spirits in it at all, so no actual alcohol.
Throughout the year, how common is it for people to pull up this mocktail list? What made you guys decide that you wanted to add this addition to what you guys serve?
So there's a big demand. So, you know, healthy lifestyle, not only just kickstarting in January, but also the healthy lifestyle throughout the year. And also people who just choose, I'm no longer drinking, or I've never been into it. So we have flavored lemonades for those who want to stay completely away from alcohol, or we have, you know, at the Cork right here, we have a new fashion, which is a non-alcoholic bourbon, but tastes like an old fashioned.
Does all the inspiration come from the alcoholic drinks that you try and transfer, or are you finding some other
Some do,
inspiration
but
as well?
we're also realizing that there's several people that they're not even interested in alcohol to begin with.
Okay.
So we're creating mocktails and getting away from the word mocktail and going for spirit-free. So it's,
all right. Yeah.
you know, keeping it completely separate.
All right.
Yeah.
And in January, you guys are celebrating these drinks. What's going on
Absolutely.
at those locations?
So at the Skunk and Go and at the Cork, we're hosting mocktail pairing dinners. So at the Cork, it's a completely vegetarian menu, and we have mocktail pairings, so all completely non-alcoholic. And then at the Skunk and Go, the Corks is on January 18th. Tickets are on our website. And the Skunk and Goats is January 25th. Same deal, paired menu without any alcohol.
Well, before the show, we pulled straws, and I obviously get to try the mocktail, and everybody else gets the
New Year's Eve's a couple days away, but let's raise a glass to 2024 a little bit early. Thank you so much, Annie, for stopping by. Oh, that is delicious.
Thank you. Well, I
Very
think it's going to be a
good
great year ahead.
All right, I believe so as well. Thanks to Annie from Red Letter for stopping in and helping us get ready for that New Year's Eve party. Yeah, and I'm hearing some Green Day, Good Riddance in my ear, and that's what folks in New York City were looking to say to 2023. Yeah, good riddance to the year that almost was. That's when we come right back.
It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable.
All right, 10 and a half minutes away from 7 o'clock on your Friday. New this morning, some intense waves out in California are capturing attention of folks across the country. It's some unbelievable video out of Ventura County, California. Check out this rogue wave hitting the seawall at the beach at the end of a street there, causing 8 people to wind up in the hospital with minor injuries. High surf and flood warnings in effect up and down the California coastline at this point. But yeah, just washing that vehicle away. These dangerous conditions triggering evacuation orders and warnings in some coastal communities. And yeah, look at the mess left behind in some spots. The large waves causing significant flooding along some California beaches and coastal roads. New this morning, we're learning a second American held hostage in Gaza has been declared dead. A 70-year-old Israeli woman with U.S. citizenship was on a walk with her husband back on October 7th when the Hamas militants invaded Israel. The couple were shot. Both apparently died from their wounds, and they were among hundreds of others abducted in that initial Hamas attack. She was reportedly working in Israel as a teacher. Well, migrants are now amassed at the southern U.S. border. Comes as officials from both Mexico and the United States agreed to work together more closely to try and tackle these record migration numbers at the southern border. Migrants gathering behind razor wire set up by the state of Texas there on Thursday. And following a visit to Mexico by Secretary of State Antony Blinken this week, the country said they would seek to tackle the root causes of the migration issues together. Well, today stands to be one of the busiest days at airports all across the country, but it's expected to get even busier over Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, it all comes as travelers look to return home after the holidays, at least after Christmas anyway. And I do believe we have a live look at the airport in Philadelphia this morning. Planes coming in and out again, expected to be a very busy day at American airports. The TSA expecting to screen more than 2.6 million people at their security checkpoints across America. Just today alone, the FAA says the busiest day is going to be tomorrow, more than 48,000 flights expected. And from Philadelphia to New York City, Times Square is getting ready for one of the most anticipated events there, as of course the new year approaches. It's been going on for 120 years. Times Square has been the center of that worldwide New Year's Eve attention. Started with the owners of One Times Square conducting rooftop celebrations to bring in the new year. First time that happened, 1907. And this tradition is now a universal symbol of the holiday season as we take you live into Times Square in New York City this morning. Yeah, the bright lights are shining. That's where the 2024 celebration will feature live performances from artists ranging from Flo Rida to Megan Thee Stallion. And of course, we'll have that iconic ball drop as we count down to the start of 2024. And as that new year approaches, some folks are looking to say good riddance to 2023. Yeah, to celebrate Good Riddance Day, crowds gathered in Times Square on Thursday, and they basically wrote down everything that went wrong for them in 2023. This event billed as a chance to symbolically say farewell to the problems and pet peeves of the past year. In past celebrations here, shredders and dumpsters were used to kind of symbolically make that past go away. This year, they used a magician who lit pieces of paper on fire. Headed towards 7 o'clock on your Friday morning. Here's a live look at the Allegheny River and the city of Warren this morning. A major change of direction for Warren County's top law enforcement official, the DA there, Rob Green, announcing his future plans to head in a green direction. We're talking leafy green, though. That's next.
Know Before You Go is brought to you by D. Caruana and Associates at Agresti Real Estate.
Erie News Now following a developing story out of Warren County this morning. The district attorney there, Rob Green's, announced a major change in career direction. Says he's going from being Warren County's top law enforcement official to focusing on marijuana advocacy. In a statement released on Thursday, Warren County DA Rob Green says he won't run for a fourth term in that office. Instead, he says he plans to change his focus to advocacy on the issue of marijuana. Voters first elected the Republican Green back in 2013. He does have 2 years left in his current term. Now, in that statement delivered on Thursday, Green called himself a freedom-loving Second Amendment Republican who confessed to using cannabis for most of his life. The man accused of killing his girlfriend inside their East Erie apartments due in court today. He's now 45-year-old Gordon Kirkland, charged with first-degree murder in the death of 48-year-old Autumn Basham. Police found her body in the yard of a home along East 28th Street back in September. She'd been stabbed to death. In court today, a scheduled preliminary hearing. A judge will decide if the evidence is enough to send that murder case on to a full trial. And the countdown to New Year's Eve is on, and while it may be a night to celebrate for many, it can also be a busy night for local police. And if people aren't safe and smart, they could run into some harsh consequences, including DUI. A Deputy Erie Police Chief Rick Laura says it's best to have a designated driver if you're going to be heading out and drinking on New Year's Eve. They also suggest taking advantage of a ride share, Uber or Lyft. Laura also says the police department tends to see an uptick in activity when New Year's Eve falls on a weekend. And they always look for extra support staff, overtime basically coming in for the holiday. Hey, it's Friday, so that means it's Donut Friday. I don't have Tracy to come deliver the donuts with me today, so I'm going to rope our Megan Selensky in for that duty on this Friday morning. We do it every Friday, heading out to one of the businesses or organizations around the community that you recommend and passing along some free donuts and coffee, courtesy of the folks at Tim Hortons. So head to our Facebook page and just comment on the post that we have put up there. Tell us why you or perhaps some of your coworkers deserve those Tim Hortons donuts and coffee. We do need you to be there and ready to take those donuts and coffee this morning, but we hope to be able to meet you in a little over an hour this morning.
Quick run through future casts as we continue over these next few hours, expecting some pockets of sunshine. Clouds fill back in tonight, and in come some rain, snow showers through the overnight, lasting into the morning hours of tomorrow. A few flurries through our daytime Saturday, but relatively quiet during much of our Saturday afternoon into Sunday morning. Things do change, though, for our New Year's Eve afternoon into evening. You can see that happening around 6, 7 p.m. In comes the snow. Could see a light covering in spots, ringing in 2024 with those flakes flying. I'll have a full check of that 7-day forecast coming up right after the break.